Hello everyone, it's Kathy Champion and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Gastonia, North Carolina, and I am so glad that you're here with us today. Today I want to center in on this free stamp set. This stamp set is free with a $100 purchase, and it's only one of two items in the new Sale-a-Bration catalog that it does require a $100 purchase in order to get. Now I'm giving away one of these. Anybody that places an order on my online store, and the link is below in this video under the description, and your name will go in a drawing that will be drawn on March the 1st. So if you are interested in this stamp set and you want to see what you can do with it, go ahead and run over to my store and place a small order. I'm not requiring a $50 purchase. Any order of any size will put you in the drawing. So if you place more than one order during the month, then your name will go in more than once. But I would not recommend doing that, because if you've got, say, 3 orders to get your name in, you're going to pay shipping on 3 separate orders, which is going to be expensive. And also, if you do spend $100, you can get this stamp anyway, this entire stamp set. This stamp set is really pretty. Let me show you my host code, because that is the stipulation. In order to be in the drawing, you have to use our February host code. That's also listed in the video description as well. So if you want to jot this down while it's here, you can do that, or you can just wait and go over to the description and you can get it there. So whichever way that you decide to do that, that would be great. So let me open up the stamp set and show you. As you can see, the first thing, the images are much larger than they're pictured. Look at the size. Let me get a piece of paper to put behind this so you can see it. And yes, I've loved this stamp set a lot because I've used it. As you can see how big that hummingbird is in comparison to what they put on here. And if you get the stamp set, you'll read right down here that the images are 65% smaller than the actual image. So, and that is so true. So what I'm going to do is, I've got both images out. This stamp set is what is known as a 2-step stamp set. But I want to tell you, you don't have to use it that way. You can do the outline, which this is your outline, and this is your fill color that you go back in, stamp it in a color, and then come over. It is great. I love doing that, but you don't have to. Here's some pieces that I have stamped and fussy cut. I actually colored them. Let me move this back, but we're going to do the other technique here online. I just did these to show you that there are other options. Look at the color on my hummingbird. I love that. These were all done with Stampin' Blends. And I've got some leaves, and I've got some flowers, and some butterflies. A little variety of everything here. Like I said, I'm also going to stamp these images, and we're going to go back and actually use the two-part stamp, this part that fills in. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that. And I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use on my card. I also have a piece of my vellum. Let me lay those over there. Here's a piece of my vellum that I did using that technique that I showed. Was it earlier this week or last week? I can't remember, but it is on my channel, how you can use your alcohol markers on the Stampin' Up vellum. I don't recommend doing this on anything but Stampin' Up vellum, because I cannot guarantee your results on others. I had a very bad experience using a different brand, but the Stampin' Up is great. And what I did is, after, I think on this one I used Shaded Spruce, Mango Melody, and Rich Razzleberry. And I fell in love with this. I just grabbed some colors and I said, I want to just see what it's going to look like. These colors are gorgeous together, I think. And after this dried, I ran it through my subtle embossing folder. I don't know if you can see the texture, but it has a texture that's just it's just beautiful. So we are going to be using that, and I have another one that I did. And let's see, let's put it on a piece of white paper. And these things are so wonderful because depending on what color you put on the paper under it, depends on the color that it picks up. I think white gives you a true color, and if you used, here's a piece of Misty Moonlight, and see how it takes on a whole different look, depending on the color of paper. Let's see if we've got, this is one of my paper pumpkin envelopes. Let's lay it on the red. And see, it just takes on a whole different look from one piece to another. So that's what's so great about doing those alcohol marbling. I don't even know if I have a name for it, but I just know they're beautiful, and I love, love, love making them. So we are going to use this one today. This is my card base right here. So it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I am just going to fold it. I'm getting my corner to corner. And then I'm going to crease it. And of course I'm going to come in with my ever famous bone folder, and we're just going to crease that down really good. And this is just going to be a simple A2 size card. Now as you can see, this piece is exactly the width of that piece. So if you wanted to use a yellow behind this for this to lay on, let's grab a piece of Daffodil Delight. Let's see, I think that would be in my brights. Yes. And let's just see what it looks like on Daffodil Delight. Oh my heavens. Look how pretty that is. Oh, let's look at it on, this is Coastal Cabana. It's gorgeous on that too. But I think I love, absolutely love the Daffodil Delight. Isn't that, oh yeah. I think I'm going spring. Can y'all tell that I might be a little bit ready for some warmer weather? It's been really, you know, fairly decent temperatures here in Carolina, but we are going to have a cold front moving in where it's only going to be in the mid to low 40s this coming week. And it's going to be rainy and yucky, so But you know what? We take what we can get, and we just be happy and be glad, because we have no control over it. So why be upset over something that we can't control? Alright, I'm going to cut this piece down because I want it to fit on my card base, but I only want a tiny bit of that white to show. So normally we would cut our mats down to 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to do it 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, which is going to give me a smaller border around here. And if y'all are interested in me doing a matting measurement video, leave me a comment, and if I get enough of comments of people that are interested in that, I will definitely do a video on it. I know a lot of us struggle with the measurements and reading our ruler. Oops, wrong one. Okay, take that off there, and then 5 3/8, and let's see, that'd be 1, 2, and 3. Measurements can be intimidating. It's like anything until you learn it, and once you get it and you go, oh, you know, sort of like the light bulb came on. It happens. Okay, that piece is going to go there. So we know now that this piece needs to be 4 by 5 1/4. So that makes it real easy to cut this one down. But let's see what we got. We got 1/4 of an inch on each side. So I'm going to come back off of the 1/4, and I'm going to take off 1/8. And the reason I'm doing this is I like to take a little bit off of each side so that I don't lose the integrity of my card. So I'm going to take off an 1/8 right there. And then very easy. So when we measure this now, we're at 4. And now this one we can do 5 1/4, but I'm going to do 5 1/8. No, I'm going to go ahead and take it off here because I don't want to lose that up there. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this off at 5 1/4 and take it off of this bottom. The bottom really didn't have a lot going on, so I feel good about taking the whole thing down. All right, so now we have our card and our 2 mats, and we need to decide how we want to mat our pieces. But before we do that, let me grab another piece of our Whisper White. I'm sorry, Basic White. I have seen other demonstrators recently that has done the same thing, and I thought, well, I haven't been with Stampin' Up long enough, so I won't have any trouble with changing to Basic White. Wrong. I have had a really hard time calling this stuff Basic White because I still want to say Whisper White. Alright, we're just going to slice that in half, and we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to grab my Memento Tuxedo Black ink, and let's just lay that up there. And I want to get a couple of stamp blocks, and I think I have some right here. I do. There's one, and here's a couple more. I went ahead and purchased, I had a whole set of the stamp blocks, but I went back and purchased another one of the D stamp blocks. I got ink all over my fingers. The reason I did that is because I grab these all the time, and I'd always have to peel a stamp off. So my next one that I'm going to get a second one of is this one. These seem to be the ones that I gravitate to the most, and this one. Those 3 sizes will pretty much do you for anything. That's not to say that everybody doesn't need one that's long. This is great for sentiments that run long. And then you've also got one like this that's, you know, a rectangle that is great to have, because for bigger sentiments, like the Hey Girlfriend, that is so easy to stamp with one that size. So the Stampin' Up stamp blocks are so nice. They have a nice feel to them. You have this grooved edge where you can hold it, and it feels really comfortable in your hand. So I have fallen in love with these, and I had always used the Fiskars, but once I tried these, I was sold. They are great. Okay, enough of my sales pitch. Let's get to stamping. Not so much a sales pitch. I just like to let y'all know what I think about certain products. And I am not a person that uses a product I don't like just for the sake to sell it. I don't. If y'all know me well enough, you know that this is the Stampin' Up bone folder, but I have a tendency to reach for my bone folder that I've been using for quite some time. That's a Teflon bone folder. You know, if Stampin' Up sold a Teflon bone folder, I would be using theirs. I love this because it doesn't leave a shine on my paper, but if I'm doing white paper, or as long as it's not a dark paper, I can get away with this one without it leaving that little sheen. So that's why y'all see me using a different, let's see if we can get this one picked up in here. I think I need the bigger block. So yep, and we're going to center him right in the middle. And I'm going to turn him over and ink him this way. That just, to me, when you're using a bigger stamp block and a larger image, and this is a pretty good size image, you really need to ink it this way. I think you have better control. You don't get ink around your ink pad when you do that. I mean, around your stamp block. So let's just go ahead. Oh, y'all know what I forgot, don't you? I know somebody was yelling, but you're not using your Stampin' Pierce mat. No, I wasn't. I was talking and not thinking. I know my husband would love for me to be able to talk and think at the same time. I huffed on that since I'd been searching for my mat while I was... I'm just going to hold that against the paper. Beautiful image. I'm going to do a couple of these, and I'm going to do a couple of the butterflies, and maybe one of the flowers, and we're going to play with some color. Let's put another one right here. And I got my Simply Chamois over here that's damp, so I'm just going to do a quick wipe on this with my chamois. And let's take this off and see what else we're going to do. We're going to do a butterfly. And I like to put my image down. And you know what? I can use the smaller block for this. I like to put my image down. And this one, because it's smaller, I'm just going to use it in the ink pad just like this. And now I am going to stamp this right here. I'm putting my images kind of close together because this stamp set does not have dies. So you do have to fussy cut your pieces, but you know what? Sometimes fussy cutting can be fun. I know y'all are saying, yeah, right. If you're one of those that don't like to fussy cut, but let me tell you, I used to hate it. I used to absolutely hate fussy cutting. And now I just find it relaxing. I can stamp out a whole page of images. Don't get me wrong, if a stamp set has a die, I am right on it. I always buy the dies that go with the stamp set. I do it in a bundle so that I can save that 10%. Because if not, I'm going to go back and buy the dies anyway. So why not save the 10% right out the door? And it works for me. So I do love my dies, and I love my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Y'all know I do because I use it all the time. Alright, let's get the flower. I love this flower. It is absolutely gorgeous. Let's see if that'll fit on there. Yep. Another rule of thumb, try your best to use a stamp block that closely fits your stamp. That keeps you, because when it's compact, you've got more of the surface of the stamp against your stamp block. You're not as apt to rock your stamp and get that little double blurred image that we all do from time to time. So this makes it so much easier. So let's stamp him right here. And we'll do one more of those, and then we'll do a leaf. We might even do 2 leaves if we can manage to get, I don't think I'm going to get 2 on this piece of paper. I should have used the whole sheet, but I didn't. But that's okay. We'll manage. Now I do know that I'm going to need the big stamp block for this because it's a good sized piece of greenery. And you know what? We might see how close I can get that there. I might be able to get another one there. We can try it. Let's go ahead and ink him up. And because this is the bigger one, I'm going to do my method where I bring the ink pad to the stamp. And let's stamp like that. Very nice. And I'm going to ink it up one more time, and I think I can get one right there. So let's give it the school try and see. So we're just going to go right about in here. And like that. So we did it. Alright, now I'm going to show y'all how you can go back using that two-step stamp. And I'm going to grab just some ink colors that I think would be pretty on these. And they are going to be, let's see, what did I, oh, that one's still on the stamp block, so let's put this back. And then we're going to grab the other set of stamps, these right here that has all of our fill-in colors. And let's get rid of the black ink because we don't need that one anymore. And now let's kind of think about what colors we want to do our hummingbird in. Now the bad thing about this is you're kind of limited to the color you can use because you are using an image like this. You can doctor it. I'm going to do one flat on color, and then I'll do the second one, and we'll see if we can do a little bit of variation in color. So let me grab my little ink daubers, because that's how we're going to use the variant of color. So let's see, our hummingbird. What color do we want our hummingbird? Let's try trying to find a place to set my drink. I definitely don't want to knock that over, that's for sure. And I needed to get to my inks. Let's try the, I wanted something kind of light. Let's do our hummingbird in Rococo Rose, and then we'll do it flat on, and then we'll try this one, and I'll show you how to add maybe a little bit of a variant in color. So let's see if this will work on here. Yep, that worked good. So I need a piece of scrap paper. So I'm going to get one of my little smaller sheets of grid paper. These originally were made to go in your Stamparatus, but I'm here to tell you this little pad, I go to it so often because it works for me. So the reason I wanted that is if I want to stamp off, I have an opportunity to do so. So I'm going to try to get everything right here so that you can see what I'm doing. Put my ink pad up there. So I'm going to go in, so I want to make sure that I've got this lined like I want it. And the good thing with the photopolymer, the only thing that is good, no, I like the photopolymer, but y'all know I love, love, love my, I got two of those. I don't need the one. Okay. I love my cling stamps. The red rubber, you just can't beat them. I'm just going to put that down and see, and then I'm going to look at my second generation stamping and see. I think I like it full on. I really think I do. So I'm going to ink it back up, and we're going to go in. And these are not made to fit on here perfectly, so you're going to have a little bit of off color, or with it not being matched up perfect, because they didn't make those to look perfect. This is supposed to have that wonderful sort of watercolor feel. So see how it looks, but it's pretty. You can still get by with this. So that's the full on. Now I'm going to clean my stamp. And we're going to get some, we're going to keep the Rococo Rose, but let me get my ink dauber, my little finger dabbers, and I'm going to grab one for the Highland Heather. And I'm going to make sure that I've got some of this ink. It looks like I used Gorgeous Grape on it last. So I'm just going to rub a little bit of that ink off. I probably could have used what was on the ink on here, but oh well. Alright, now we're going to go back in and we're going to do this one. But I'm going to do the Highland Heather and maybe the Mango Melody. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go back into the Rococo Rose. Then I'm going to turn my stamp over and I'm going to dab into the purple. This is the Highland Heather. And I want to put a little bit right there. Maybe a little bit on the stomach. Then I need to, oops. Let me get one that has yellow. I don't think I have one that has yellow. So we're going to just get a clean one. And I'm going to go in and grab some yellow ink. And I'm going to come down here and put some yellow and a little bit on its wings. I huffed on it to keep that ink activated. And then we're going to bring this to here. And stamp. Now that's how you can do it to give yourself some variance in your coloring by just coloring your stamp block using a sponge dauber. So, or like I said, you can color them with your own markers. This is done with Stampin' Blends. And there are 4 of our birds. So you can see you can get a whole different look depending on how you choose to use the stamp set. Same way with the flowers. Let's go ahead and jump over and do the flowers. Make sure this is good and clean. Now with the flowers, I didn't do a lot of highlighting on those because they are small, and y'all know that it's hard to blend with the smaller set or smaller image. But this is the one for the flowers, and it goes like this. And you can see it's not made to be perfect. Alright, let's pick that up. I'm going to pick it up like that. And we're going to come into, again, the Rococo Rose. And let's get it lined back up as best we can. And again, you see how it gives you that appearance of like watercolor. But we can go back again, and let's do it with the daubers. This time I'm going to start out with my Mango Melody. And then we're going to put a little bit of the Highland Heather. Just a little dab on the edge of the petals. And let's see what happens now. I had to do my little huff. And see, that gave it more of a muted look because I put a little bit of the lavender in with that, the Highland Heather. So these are just different techniques that you can use on your flowers. Now here's some that I colored. This one was actually colored in Rococo Rose and Just Jade. Now you can look at that and see the difference. See how that has more of a watercolor, kind of a easy feel. And like I said, these images are not meant to go over and stamp perfectly. So let's do the butterfly. And here's my butterfly. And I'll tell you the best way to do the butterfly. We're going to go in, I think I'm going to go in with Rococo Rose. And then I'm going to use my dauber in the Highland Heather. And we're going to put some Highland Heather around the edges. Let's see how this one pans out. Okay, we're going to line that up and see what's got the little cutout for his head. That's where you really want to watch when you stamp this down. And again, you're going to get the color kind of on the outside. And then again, here's 2 butterflies that I did. One using 2 colors and one using a multiple amount of colors. And I think I like that one the best. Alright, I think I've pretty much given y'all the gist of how this works, so I'm not going to use that. I'm going to lay it over. Let's put our Stampin' Pierce mat up and close up some inks. Because y'all know I can make a mess with an ink pad faster than anybody. Literally anybody. I'm an accident waiting to happen when it comes to an ink pad. Alrighty. Okay. So I'm going to turn that over so I'm not looking at that purple ink that I dabbed off of there. And what I want to do now is clean that stamp up really good and put it back where it belongs. And we're going to bring our card over now and decide exactly how we want to put our images on our card. And I am going to use the ones that I'd already done. So I'm thinking that we need to do a matte on the front of this. And I think what I want to do is I want to pull in some of this color. So to me, even though I didn't use the Rococo Rose, that is screaming Rococo Rose. But then do I want to do... I think what I want to do is, I think I want to go white. I think I want to bring white in to kind of pull in the white here. Plus that will help our images show up better. So I got a piece of white right here. Let's go ahead and get some of this stuff put away so I don't get ink all over me. And yes, I keep my little ink dabbers in a Stampin' Up case, and I've got my clean ones over here and the ones that I've colored over here, and I got a cloth in between them so that I can clean those up whenever I need to. Alright, so let's cut. I want to use my Stitch So Sweetly dies. I love, love, love those. This is one die set that is so versatile and so handy to have. So I want to use these scalloped rectangles. They are so pretty on a card, and I'm thinking I want the larger one, but I never know until I pull one out and actually lay it against my card, because I don't want to cover up too much of that pretty. Maybe we need to go a little bit smaller, so I'll go down to the next one. Yeah, this is the one I want. So I am going to, I want to cut off a piece of this. And I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors because it's quicker. And I'm going to put this in my die machine and cut it. And the reason, you might ask, well, why did you cut it off? Why did you cut it off? You could have just ran that whole piece through. Yes, I could have, but I could not have put this in an angle. And anytime you're cutting a straight edge in your die cut machine, you want to feed it in so that it's hitting here instead of here. It keeps it from making that huge popping sound, and it's just a better way to do it. So that was the reason for I always tell my husband, there's always a method to my madness. And it's the same way in my craft room. I always have, there's a reason I do everything I do the way I do it. It comes from trial and error and learning from other people as well. And see, that went through with hardly any cracking at all. And if I had gone straight in, you would have heard a humongous pop and crack. So let's take this off and take that out. And then we got this beautiful little white piece to put our flowers or hummingbirds or whatever on. I do want to do a little stamping on here, I think. Yeah, I do. I think what I want to do, or maybe not. We can do that. I love this hummingbird right here. And what I want to figure out is exactly how I want to put this on here. Like that. And we might even put these flowers. Let me cut this off and use this part down here. Let me grab my scissors. We're going to do some die cut surgery. I just want to cut off this tiny little flower. Like that. And then this one can go right here. And this one can go here. And our hummingbird right about there. I want him to look like he's going down to suck some nectar out of those flowers. They'll love that. We're going to pop all of this up on some dimensionals. So let me grab my dimensionals, and I'm going to go ahead and put some here on my little hummingbird. I'll get that out in a minute. So I think this one I'm going to put straight down, and this one's going to get popped up. I love the effect of having some up and some down. Oh, and look, that got stuck to that. That's okay, we're going to use that right here on the stem. Our little pieces always come in handy. And let's use one there, and maybe one right there. Alright, need my take your pick tool. I can't craft without it. And this one's already come off, so I've only got this one and this one and this one. And then we need to turn our hummingbird over and wrangle them off of the hummingbird. Alright, I think I'm going to place my flowers first. So I want this flower to be like that. Yeah. So this is the one we're going to glue straight down. So I'm going to grab some liquid glue. And just a little swirl of glue will do it. And then we're going to go ahead and put this one down. Maybe like that. We're going to grab our hummingbird, and she's going to go right there. Now this is all ready to go onto our card. So let's go ahead and put our pieces to our card together, and I'm going to show you a trick for putting down your vellum. Now, I'm going to turn this. I'm going to use liquid glue on my mat, on the cardstock mat. You don't want to do your vellum like this because you will see the glue from underneath. So I found a way to put it down that works beautifully. Well, what is wrong with me this morning? I can't get this on here straight. Okay, we got it. I'm gonna just kind of iron over that with my bone folder. And my secret weapon for putting this on is my glue dots. Yep, you heard it here. Glue dots to the rescue. So what I'm going to do is in each corner, I'm gonna adhere a glue dot just in the corner, right up in that corner. And then we're going to do the bottom or the top. I'm not sure which is which right now. I'll make that call once I get all my glue dots on. And then we need this corner, and I think I like it like that. So then what you want to do is make sure that you know exactly that you're putting it where you want it. And then just press it down. Oh, that night gorgeous. I love it, I love it, I love it. Now we have this piece that we need to decide whether we want this to be popped up or glued straight down. And I think for the fact that we've got everything popped up on here, I'm just going to use some glue. And we're going to center this. Or do I want to put it to the side? I like it on the side. Okay, it's going down, y'all. This is where I want it to go. And I'm rubbing down underneath there to get that to stick. Now if you see that it's raised up in any places like this, just go in and put a little bit more glue down. Press it and hold it. Oops. Just press it down. And I'm not too sure. I'm not going to put a little bit of glue on this piece. And just let that stick right there. So it doesn't get broke off. Isn't that beautiful? Now the only thing we need to do is do a sentiment on here. And I think what I want to do is something very simple. I'm trying to find a sentiment that I like. I've got this punch party that is also Sale-a-Bration stamp set. And I like that right there. A heartfelt thanks for everything. That would be really cute on here. And look, we could actually punch out the little circle and put it in that. Let's see if that'll work. But you know, I don't want to cover up too much of the pretty on the actual yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to, let's see, will it fit in this? Let's try it and see. We don't know if we don't try, do we? No, it's all fair game. We're going to try it out and see what happens. I'm going to use this little scrap right here. And I want to do this in black. Okay, and then we need to see if the sentiment's going to fit in there That'd be so great if it did. You know what? I think it will. I love it. Yep. And we have a punch that will punch that out, because the Punch Party stamp set coordinates with so many of the punches that we already have. So let me grab our, I forget the name of it because it's new. But never fear, it's the double oval punch. And this is it right here. And what's so nice about this, I think you could use this on either one. You could put it here and punch it, or if you want that little scallop around it, you could do it here. I think I'm going down because I want it, I need to take a tiny bit of this off. I don't want to take up any more real estate on that card because, like I said, that vellum is so pretty. And then we've got our sentiment. So we're going to pop it up on some dimensionals. And then all I'll have to do is put down a card base inside. And we will be done. So what if we put this right about, you know, I kind of like it down here. Yeah, I think it's going right there. And that kind of keeps everything to this corner, and we can still see all that beautiful vellum. I might go back in and put another glue dot on this side because it is lifting right there. And the reason for that, we got everything adhered down over here that's actually holding it, but this side over here is not. So I'm just going to grab a glue dot with my take your pick tool, and I'm going to put it right there, just like that. And all I have to do now is put either, I could use yellow, I could use green, I could use the Rococo Rose and a white piece, and then this card is done. So let's decide what color we want to use. I think I'm going to go with the Rococo Rose. Y'all know I am in love with that color. This is going to be one color. When it goes away, I'm going to be so sad. I'm going to be crying, y'all, because look at that color. It's gorgeous. Alright, so we've got that piece, and I think we've got a piece of white here we can cut down. So let's move this out of our way. All of my stuff out of my way. And let's trim this down to 4. And that was just about, I only took like maybe an 1/8 off of that, if that. Might have been a 1/16, who knows. And this. Oh, we gotta cut the white one down. Oh, almost forgot. Let's pull that back over here. And this one, I'm going to make it 5. Oh, this piece is wonky. That's the piece I cut off with the scissors. Can y'all see that I cannot cut straight? Look at that piece, it's so crooked. But now we got a nice straight edge. I hope that some of you have picked up this trimmer, because this trimmer is absolutely the bomb. So we need to take that to 3 3/4. And I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal on this, and I'm just going to then we're going to even this up on here just like that. A little bit more Stampin' Seal. Oh, I hate it when it tears my paper. Oh, and it did. That's okay. I think I got it back down. Alrighty, now we're ready to put this in. So this would be ready to stamp a sentiment on or write a personal note. Sometimes I just like to have some cards that has an opening inside where I can actually send the person a personalized note, especially if it's a thank you card. But there's that card all done. Is that not precious? It's a simple card, but yet it has such a wow factor that it is just lovely. And again, that was using the stamp set that I'm giving away to one lucky winner at the end of this month. So we'll have the drawing on March the 1st. Place an order of any size, and be sure, because it does not apply if you don't use this host code. So when you get ready to place your order, if you don't see where you need to put the host code in, give me a call. So, because I want you to be in the drawing. I want as many people as possible to be in the drawing for this. That's why I stipulated any purchase, any size purchase. So that is our card for today. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and being with me for a little while, spending some time here in my craft room with me. I love each and every one of you so much, and if you have been watching my channel but you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. I am working my way up to that 1K subscriber, and once I get there I can do lives. I can actually have some sponsorship, and so that's a milestone for anyone that's doing YouTube videos. And I've been working, this June will be 2 years, so it's been a steady climb, but it's been so much fun. So I've been crafting a lot longer than that, but I've only been doing it on YouTube for about 1.5 years, 2 years. So I love each and every one of you so much. Like I said before, I am here for you. Anything that you need, please just shoot me an email, a text, or a phone call. I want to be your demonstrator. I want to service you with the products that you buy. If you have any questions, or if you're interested in becoming a demonstrator and you want to be on my team, please call me and I'll walk you through exactly. Through the end of February, it's a wonderful time to join, because not only will you get your starter kit, which is anything and everything that you want to order. You pick your kit. You get $125 worth of products for $99, free shipping. The people that I've had to sign up under me during this promo, I've told them if they want a emboss machine, this is the time to get it. You can get the Mac Daddy, which is what I call him, the big one. You can get that and still have $5 extra to spend, and you do not have to pay shipping on this bad boy. The shipping on this emboss machine is outrageous. So this would be a great time if you are in the market for a Stampin' Cut and emboss machine. So just thought I would throw that out there. And like I say in closing, let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy of our love, our praise, our honor. So until we craft again, you're in my prayers. I love you all. Bye-bye.